Okay, so I think that probably the folks that are coming are coming. So welcome to the Texas State Breakout Room for the CSK5 Summit. I'm Sheryl Roehl. I work for We Teach Computer Science at the University of Texas in Austin. And we've been working with John Pierce and have become a partner with the CS Elementary organization for quite a while now. And I've invited 3 folks to help with the breakout today, and I'll introduce them. First, we'll go Shaina Glass, and she is our We Teach CSCode.org CS Fundamentals facilitator, and she also is the Professional Learning Manager at CSTA. And then Caitlin Crouch is a science specialist at Ector County ISD, and they've done some great work embedding computer science into their K-12 system, and had a huge event this past summer with CSS Elementary Code Night. And then last but not least is Dan Blier. He's our CSTA DFW president, and he does many other things. And so before I turn it over to Shaina, I'd like to give a special shout out to Michelle Sedberry. Michelle is our Texas Education Agency computer science, actually our STEM coordinator. And Michelle, if you want to unmute and say hi, we'd love to hear from you.
Hello, happy to be here and happy to hear what all you guys are doing in Texas.
And I forgot to mention that Dan is also the CSTA board president, but I'm sure he'll fill you in on anything I left out. I was trying to keep it brief. So Shaina, I'm going to turn it over to you to let you talk about code.org and the fact that We Teach CS is the regional partner for the entire state. So Shaina.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone, from all over the state of Texas. And she is absolutely right. Texas now has one overarching partner with code.org, and that is the University of Texas at Austin. And we as regional managers, we support across the state, each and every one of you. In here, focused on elementary, and I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you all can see it. And I'll also drop this in the chat. This is a document for administrators. On what code.org could bring to schools in your area. The main thing I really want to talk about, as many people already are familiar with code.org's curriculum, is that this is one aligned to CSTA standards. It may not sound like much here in Texas, but as we are focused on TEKS, but the technology application standards are now being revised and aligned to the CSTA student standards. So that is huge. Something else that is huge are these other items. The curriculum is 100% free. There is professional development available for teachers in your area, in your regions, in your schools. All you have to do is submit a request for your interest in this. There is ongoing support in the community for teachers and administrators in schools. As I just stated, it is connected and aligned to the CSTA standards, which are also cross-referenced with the ISTE standards. There are 2 professional development options available. So if you've had teachers in the past that have attended a CS Fundamentals workshop, there's now a deep dive workshop where they can explore how this is tied cross-curricular to other content areas. And code.org also provides ongoing online support if there's any issues that teachers may have or may need in the platform. During this last year, Code.org has also helped teachers to meet that hybrid need. So they have provided resources for teachers who can do this face-to-face, as we are all currently. They can also pivot to hybrid. So they have lessons that can link more easily directly to any learning management systems that your schools or teachers may be using. And they have provided additional extension activities and projects that students can participate in. There are a number of courses available. They are labeled by alphabet versus grade level because it really just depends on the student. So that means it builds on differentiation. This shows you the number of lessons available in each of the courses and the concepts that will be matched. Something that we are discussing and looking at in collaboration with Code.org is how to align it to the TEKS to show you the connections to different content areas. So you can see how these lessons tie to math, how they tie to science. So wanted to make sure that you see those. This is all of the resources that teachers receive. Within the content, there's already built-in curriculum guides, lesson plans for all of the lessons listed above. There's a built-in teacher dashboard and student dashboard. There's videos for every lesson, extension materials if needed, sprite labs and artist tools, sprite editors for students, very similar to other platforms, and students can build endless open-ended projects. This PDF that I just shared with you also gives highlights on computer science, on stats that you can share with principals, counselors, parents. I know that we're going to talk a little bit about Code Night. They do also provide resources on that as well. So if you're interested, we can drop a link in here. I will make sure that it is available for you. If you're interested in signing your schools up, if you're interested in signing up your service centers, we would love to host sessions. Things that we're looking at is to make sure that teachers are accountable for attendance. So we're going to make sure to help, even in partnering with you, to ensure that teachers can attend these sessions. And there is funding available to support if needed for attending these workshops. That's what I have. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I'll make sure to provide my information, and Sheryl has it as well.
Okay. Thanks, Shaina.
Thank you, Sheryl.
You're welcome. And as Shaina mentioned, Code.org has given We Teach CS some funding to support professional development for CS fundamentals. We can have these at service centers. If you have a district where you can make sure we have at least 12 teachers, we can come to your district and do it. Right now, we're doing things virtually, but hopefully we'll be back face to face. But just let us know how we can help you, and we'd love to help you get started with Code.org. And now I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin, and she's going to tell you about her experience with CS's Elementary and the Family Code Nights and what Ector County ISD is doing. Caitlin?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is super exciting. I'm grateful to be that Sheryl asked me to be a part of this. We first ventured into our partnership with TAC, and we had a workforce together that we kind of really just talked about what it is that we wanted as far as computer science goes in our district. And we threw some things around, and my assistant superintendent called me one day and said, hey, you know what? I think you would be great for computer science, right? You're our science coordinator, you know stuff about computer science. And I was like, well, I'm kind of good on a computer and I'm pretty good at science. So I don't know, maybe it falls somewhere in the middle. So I was really scared, if I'm being real honest, really nervous to take on this endeavor. But it has grown me so much as a person, and I really see the value in all of this this work, and I see the value that it has for our students. So just a reminder, my name is Caitlin Couch. I am the District Science Coordinator for Ector County ISD. So I oversee science for pre-K through 12th grade. And I've also been charged with our computer science and robotics implementations for, again, pre-K through 12. So some of the talking points for today, just kind of give you some background information on the project, and then kind of talk about the plan, the rollout, and then the future of this. So again, like I mentioned to start with, that we ventured into a partnership with TAC and really talked about our initiatives for our computer science implementation district-wide. We said that if we were going to put all of these people in one room and really begin talking about this, that we wanted it to be a full district-wide, full-fledged effort. And so just like Shaina from code.org, this right here was presented to me by Sheryl and them, and it really spoke volumes to me. So it says in Texas, there are currently almost 38,000 openings in computer jobs with an average salary of $95,000. So with that being said, that little piece down at the bottom says, yet there were only 4,100 graduates in computer science in 2018. So I don't know if y'all know much about West Texas, but we have this thing called the oil field that we have to contend with. And it's really eye-opening for an 18-year-old to say that I can go work in the oil field and I can make all of this money. But we want to produce more than just able-bodied workers. We want to provide our students with the knowledge of the future, because really in all facets of life, that this is where it's headed. We want to be able to equip them with the knowledge and the skills that they need to hold these high-paying, high-demand jobs. So the plan really was, where do we start? So we had a pretty good presence at our high school. We had an okay presence at our middle school, but we had a 0% presence at our elementaries. And so we really needed to get the word out. What is computer science? What is this going to do for their child, a parent's child? And really, how is the district going to help their campus really achieve this goal? And so one of the ways that we began is that we needed to have a fun night for people to see that honestly, computer science is just a fancy word for saying it's a sequence to something. It is a way for us to get from a point A to a point B, right? And so we wanted to show them this family code night and really get our students or their children a chance to get their hands on some activities where they actually began to code. So we created this fancy flyer and invited all kinds of people. But what we really needed to do was we first created a Google form, and that kind of served several purposes on our end. So it really allowed us to see the grade level breakdown of who all signed up. It also gave us a campus breakdown, and then it really gave us a way to have a collective database of all of these parent contacts so that we can invite them to future family code nights and just kind of keep in contact with the latest, greatest information that is being rolled out to their campuses, and just some information that they could do outside at their home outside of school. And so we also, you got to have a prize, right? You got to hook them somehow. And so if you noticed on that flyer on the previous slide, we gave away a Dash robot. And these are awesome, especially for our K5 students. We even invited pre-K students, and what's really surprising is that ended up being one of our highest populations. We also offered the winning campus a snow cone party, which we had a really, really good battle. It came down to the last 30 minutes prior to going live with John, and we had one of our schools overwhelmingly, just their campus alone had about 150 families that showed up. So then we also, after we rolled out that flyer with that Google form for sign up, we did follow, once we got those emails, we did follow up with some additional marketing pieces to kind of provide some additional information about what that night is going to hold. So we had some 6 big ideas. And we also had just a video that John showed you earlier. What is Family Code Night? And so, you know, that's the word that really parents had a hard time understanding, was coding, that they really didn't understand what that meant. And so we had to really get creative with how we rolled this information out. And so I will put this in the chat here shortly, just so you have all of these links to kind of follow as well. All right, so once we did all of that, we ended up having about 550 families from our K-5 schools. All 28 elementaries were represented, and we had representatives from pre-K all the way through 5th grade. So with that being said, it is a huge, huge positive, and it really is kind of the carrot that we dangled moving into summer school. And so our summer school numbers skyrocketed, almost tripled the number from the previous couple of years, because they were going to have an hour devoted to coding and robotics. And so they loved Family Code Night, and they also, that's why they came to summer school as well. And so afterwards, you know, we ventured and we said, okay, we're going to have 2 schools that are really going to take this on full-fledged, implement a full curriculum for computer science and robotics. And then because I'm the science coordinator, the curriculum also aligns with science as well. But that quickly jumped to 8 schools that were full-fledged, 100% committed. We did have that summer school training where we had 80 teachers from the 28 different schools that showed them Hour of Code. We also showed them Code 5 lessons. It was an ongoing bi-monthly session that we held. All right, and then they also established goals that you saw in John's depictions earlier in the session, their commitments for the 21-22 school year. And then, like others of you, I'm sure, we will be holding those 4 additional Family Code Nights for our district as well. So again, I am Caitlin Couch, the district science coordinator, and now the district computer science and robotics coordinator. So there is my contact information. Feel free to take a picture, but I'll also put this slide deck in the chat. So I appreciate your time, and I hope that you and your districts code and have just as much fun as we did. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. And they've had great success in their district, and they're doing exceptional things. And I did post in the chat that if you'd like to sign up to host a Family Code Night at your school, you just go to cselementary.org, and there are links there where you can actually sign up. You choose your night, and they provide everything that you would need to host it. And so I'm going to turn it over to Dan Blier. And again, Dan is in Plano ISD, and he's our CSTA DFW president and other positions. So Dan, I'm going to let you tell them more about yourself. And Dan, you're muted.
Good thing I didn't talk too long. As Sheryl pointed out, I am the Dallas-Fort Worth Computer Science Teachers Association president, but I'm also the chair of the National Board of Directors for CSTA. So today I'm coming to talk to you about CSTA, and hopefully you will be joining if you haven't already joined the organization and a chapter. I will share these slides with you, which will have links for that. So CSTA is a voice for teachers. It's member focused. We are committed to equity. We're doing a lot of work around that piece, and we just are creating a lot of great resources to help CS teachers grow. And so through collaboration, through professional learning and other tools that we're creating. We work towards creating an opportunity for every student to succeed in computer science through the pillars of build community, develop ongoing professional learning, and providing independent guidance. So we have built a really strong foundation in the organization. We are in every state in the country except for Montana, and we are working on Montana, as well as several provinces in Canada. We're in Singapore, Philippines, and one other country, and I've totally forgotten which one that was. If you want to become a member, we have two different grade categories of membership. We have our free membership that's open to everyone. Once you join at the basic level, you can then become a member of any of the chapters across the country. But we also have the CSTA Plus membership, which just provides you a lot more benefits like discounts to specific events like our summit and conferences, access to digital content. So every one of our virtual events gets recorded, and then you would have access forever as a CSTA Plus member to those. And some are like really outstanding keynote sessions and stuff that are great to go back to. We also have been building virtual communities. So for elementary, we have a very specific K5 area. We also have a middle school and a high school area, and we're also working on some really targeted, for specific courses for our chapter leaders, as well as our Pride, Latinx, and Black teachers also will have an area in the coming days. When you have the slides, which I'll put in the chat shortly, what I would recommend is you just click on the first link, join the national organization, and then these are linked to our 5 chapters in Texas. So Alamo is in San Antonio, Central Texas is the Austin area, Dallas-Fort Worth, of course, is our North Texas chapter, Greater Houston is in the Houston area, and Paso del Norte is in El Paso. We do have a whole bunch of professional learning opportunities coming up this semester. And so these would be some great opportunities for you to participate in professional learning. Additionally, we are one of the main sponsors for CS Education Week, which will be December 6th through the 12th. We hope that every school will find ways to celebrate Computer Science Education Week and find ways to engage students, not just during that week, but throughout the year, of course. In Texas, we host a Texas CSTA chapters collaborative conference, which is a combination of all 5 chapters. It will be a virtual event. We may have some chapters decide to have like an in-person part to go with the virtual event, but that will be on Saturday, February 5th, 2022. So the Irving, Texas piece is our local chapter location. And that is all I have put together. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me a question on either Twitter, or I will put my email address in the chat. And I have just posted the link to all of my slides. So now you have access to the links that I provided. And here's my email address.
Okay, we've got about 3 minutes left. And so I'd like to say thank you again to Dan and Caitlin, and Shaina had another meeting, so she had to log off. But I'd like to open it up to anyone who might have a question at this time. If you'll unmute and let us know what your thoughts are. No questions? We covered it all.
We have solved all of the computer science questions and issues that every district has.
Yeah. So to go back to the session with John, you'll have to leave this meeting. I'm going to post the link to the other session, and you'll have to join that Zoom again. So I'd like to say on behalf of the state of Texas and all the wonderful things that are going on, thank you for coming. And you've got my email, you've got Dan's email, Caitlin's email. I'm pretty sure Shaina put hers. If not, just contact me and we'll be happy to help you with anything and any way we can. So thanks for coming and see you in the main session.